We begin tonight with a live look at Pacific Beach as gusty conditions move into San Diego County ahead of more rain. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel. Those strong winds are set to stick around through tomorrow afternoon with fears they could topple trees all over San Diego. Tonight, CBS 8's Alex Cheney is working for you, sharing signs to look out for.
But we start with meteorologist Sean Stiles in for Carlene tonight with a first look at what we can expect. Sean.
Well, I tell you, these winds have been blowing for the past 24 to 36 hours, and the National Weather Service has a wind advisory in place until tomorrow. Now, the strongest winds are primarily over the foothills into the mountains and some of the narrow passes in and around the East County. These are a look at the forecast winds. By tomorrow morning, they will continue to be blowing very, very strong, especially out of the mountains, even though the advisory will be coming down at 1 p.m. tomorrow. These winds over some locations will be very strong, and then they'll start to back off as we get into Wednesday and switch out of the south as the storm approaches. Rain comes into the forecast, which will add to the problem with trees possibly getting toppled over with saturated ground. And as we look at this forecast, we keep wind in the forecast for tomorrow, and then that rain comes in on Wednesday and Thursday, just in time for your New Year's Eve. And we'll see some very gusty conditions over the inland microclimates tomorrow and heavy rain possible on New Year's Day.
Thanks, Sean. We saw trees topple all over the county during heavy winds and rain that hit last week. Tonight, we're working for you, showing you how to check if a tree is at risk of falling.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney joins us live. Alex, you spoke with a horticulturalist about what to look for. What did they tell you?
Well, a lot of really interesting facts about trees. So here we are in North Park. This is just a little community park. This is a massive branch that fell off one of these trees. You can see it cracked in a few spots, and I'm sure this made a thunderous sound when it hit the ground. Working for you today, I did speak to a local horticulturist who told me that there's a few things to look for around the tree that could tell you that it's more ready to fall over, and the branches have a secret as well.
The wind was howling and it was coming off.
Hundreds of trees fell in San Diego during last week's heavy wind and rain, including this one in Cardiff. The Torrey pine tree crushed a car, and the entire root system of the tree could be seen after the fall. But thankfully, no one was hurt. However, in City Heights, a large tree fell over, killing a man. We're now asking the question, how can you tell if a tree is about to fall?
If they get a little crack up at the top.
David Ross is a horticulturalist with 30 years of experience. He says there are a few signs to look for to see if a tree is at risk of falling.
I would look for a tree that's leaning. I would look for cracks in the ground around the root system. That means that it's moving.
He says to look out for unhealthy trees.
Trees that don't have full leaf structures. Watch for bugs, because bugs may not kill a tree, but they'll weaken it.
And while we were at the park today, he saw a tree that made him concerned.
If we get a bunch more rain like we're expecting and some wind, this would be a tree I'd be concerned about, and I wouldn't be hanging out on that park bench.
David also says it's important to look closely at a tree's branches.
Narrow crotch angles on branches, where this angle is very narrow, are generally weaker. And those are the ones I would watch out for. And just to show you how weak they are, they're just very easy to pull apart.
And have a tree trimmer remove branches from the leaning side of a tree.
Start by trimming the side that it's leaning toward to lighten up that side and just try and center it better.
Any underground work you may have done to your property could also disturb a tree's roots.
Definitely work that's been done around the base. Did we add a sidewalk? Did we add irrigation? Did we add a driveway? Did something happen that has caused damage to the root system?
David says if you think a tree around your home is at risk of falling, you should call a professional.
I would contact a certified arborist, not just a tree trimmer, but a certified arborist, to have somebody knowledgeable come out, take a look at the trees, and make recommendations.
Now, David went on to say as well that you should check your home insurance to see if you are covered should any tree fall and damage a piece of your property. Working for you, I'm Alex Cheney.
And remember, you can get weather alerts sent straight to your smartphone and stream Sean's extended forecast. It's all on our free CBS 8 app. Well, there's no excuse for not having a safe ride to and from New Year's celebrations.
Free rides will be available this New Year's Eve to keep you from drinking and driving. Starting at 6 Wednesday night, all MTS trolley lines and buses, as well as the coaster, will offer free complimentary service. There will also be additional late-night trips to help riders get home safely. A reminder, leave your keys at home, get a sober ride home this New Year's. And if you do plan on driving New Year's Eve, you can be sure that police will be out in full force.
And they have a new tool to help them spot drivers under the influence of drugs. CBS 8's Steve Price joins us live. Steve, there's a new test officers can use.
Yeah, Anna and Carla, you guys have certainly seen breathalyzer tests before where somebody blows into it and then officers can see right away what the blood alcohol level is. This is kind of like that, except instead of blowing into it, it uses saliva, and within minutes, it can test to see if you've used multiple different drugs.
Officers can often smell if a driver has been drinking, but if they've ingested drugs, the signs of intoxication may not be as easy to spot and confirm.
Recently, we have seen a major uptick in drivers who are impaired by drugs.
Officer Michael Denigan with the San Diego Police Department's Traffic Division can now use this device called Sotoxa to test drivers on the side of the road for active drug use.
Anything from marijuana to prescription drugs, harder drugs such as fentanyl, methamphetamine.
In fact, he tested someone right before our interview this morning, and it came back positive for allegedly being under the influence of a central nervous system stimulant.
He was ultimately placed under arrest.
Taking a Sotoxa test is voluntary and requires you to swab the inside of your mouth. Officers have to be certified to use it, and it's only given after they've spotted other signs of intoxication, like these clues to fentanyl use.
They'll have trouble answering questions, trouble staying awake. We're looking for constricted pupils, low blood pressure.
Marijuana use is legal in California, so what if you smoked it a week ago, no longer were feeling the effects, but it was still in your system? Would your Sotoxa test come back positive? Officer Denigan says no, because it's testing for the active ingredient that causes impairment.
Someone who has smoked marijuana recently and is actively under the influence, those are the people we're looking for, not someone who it may show up in a urine test from several days prior, but it does not actively impair their ability to operate.
Officer Denigan says he's already made over 100 DUI arrests this year, and having this extra tool in the field can help him and other officers make our roads safer for everyone.
One of our primary missions here at Traffic Division is to keep impaired drivers off our streets and to ensure the roadway safety for all motorists in the city of San Diego.
And just to make this clear, the test is voluntary, but if you refuse to take it, that won't necessarily get you out of an arrest. If officers think you are under the influence of drugs, they can still arrest you, and they could force you later to take a blood test. Anna and Carlo.
Thanks, Steve. Good information there. We're learning more tonight about a Mammoth Mountain ski patroller who died from injuries suffered in an avalanche on Friday.
His name is Cole Murphy. CBS 8's Brian White shares how friends and family are remembering his life and the work he loved.
Friends and family and co-workers are remembering Cole Murphy as a dedicated ski patroller who loved the mountains and the people he served, and his family sharing their grief and gratitude as the Mammoth community continues to mourn. Mammoth Mountain is confirming that Cole died from injuries he suffered in an avalanche Friday morning. He was just 30 years old. He and another ski patroller were on duty doing avalanche mitigation work on Lincoln Mountain just before the ski area opened when a slide occurred around 7:30 in the morning. Both were taken to Mammoth Hospital. Cole later succumbed to his injuries. The second patroller is recovering after surgery and is expected to survive. The avalanche came after a powerful winter storm dumped more than 5 feet of snow over several days, creating dangerous conditions and forcing the resort to close for much of the weekend. In a statement, Cole's family described him as someone who, quote, moved through the world with kindness, intention, and a wholehearted devotion to the life he chose. They said the mountain was where Cole felt most alive, calling ski patrol not just a job, but a calling. The family is also thanking his fellow patrollers, saying the bond they shared, shaped by service and camaraderie, meant more to him than words could express. His death is another heartbreaking loss for the Mammoth Ski Patrol community. Less than a year ago, another patroller died after being caught in an avalanche on the same mountain. Tonight, loved ones say they're carrying forward what they call the bright, enduring light Cole brought into their lives, as the community he served continues to remember him. Brian White, CBS 8.
Thanks, Brian. California moves forward with its high-speed rail project without federal funding.
We have those details still ahead. Plus, we're working for you, sharing how to avoid scammers targeting people buying gift cards.
And a green way to get rid of your Christmas tree after this.